Hi, today we're going to talk about the Commodore SX-64. You may have seen this computer in my previous Commodore overview video, and we're going to take a closer look at it. Okay, I'm going to turn on the computer. The switch is in the back. And the Commodore SX-64 is an interesting machine. It came out in 1984, and it was the first full-color portable computer. But I use the term portable loosely because it's a big, heavy machine that needs to be plugged into the wall. It has no battery power. But other than that, it works, it serves its purpose, and it's just a cool machine. So this particular unit has seen better days. The latch on the keyboard is missing right here. The metal tabs are kind of bent right here, and I think on the sides there used to be some kind of cover covering up the screw that holds the handle in place. But other than that, the computer is functionally fine. Some of you have noticed in the previous video that this drive is actually in the wrong position. Originally it was in the bottom slot and the storage was in the top slot, and you can see that it says storage right here and drive 0 down here, and it's flipped around. And that was actually a modification that my dad did, because my dad worked on the Rapid Lock copy protection system, and I'm guessing that he had to switch drives around and swap them in and out so he could test the copy protection on different drives, because that particular copy protection scheme relied heavily on things like disk rotational speed and the timing parameters. So he wanted to make sure it worked across a large range of drives. And he also added some switches on the back that I believe lets you switch the address of the drive. And he has done that mod on several other Commodore 64 computers as well. Here is a closer look at the front of the computer. And here's the startup screen for the SX-64. You can tell the color scheme is a little bit different than the Commodore 64, and that was because they wanted to improve the visibility on the small screen. And here's a close-up of the keyboard. The keyboard is attached to the computer with this cable, which you can remove. This cable is a little bit broken on the side, but it's just a plastic. And there's the connector. And the other side of the cable connects to the bottom of the computer. You can adjust the carry handle so that you change the viewing angle of the screen, although I think the locks are broken on this handle, so it won't actually stay. But if the locks did work, you could just adjust it at any angle that you want. Here's the side view, and the other side looks exactly like this. This is where you would insert your cartridges, like so. And here's the back of the computer. So on the back we have our joystick ports, our video out, serial, and these were the two switches I was talking about earlier that let you change the device address. And moving along, we have the user port, the AC power, the fuse, and the power switch. Here's the label on the back. You can see that it was manufactured March 1984, and there's the serial number with the prefix GA1, which is the most common. Going back to the front, we have this door that opens up, which adjusts your volume, contrast, brightness, color, and tint, And you might be able to see these little holes also, which adjust the vertical hold, sub brightness, and that's the reset button. And that was simply looking at the legend on the door. And the keyboard simply latches to the front of the computer. And as I mentioned before, this latch is missing, but that's how it looks with the keyboard attached. Alright, let's go ahead and take this computer apart. Okay, I just wanted to take off the top cover. I actually took off 2 screws on the back that I didn't have to take off, so I put those back on. You should always be very careful of the CRT electronics because that's a high voltage area, and I'm sure there's still a charge in the capacitor since I recently powered on the machine. But let's just take a closer look at it right now. Okay, let's look around the inside of this computer. This whole back piece appears to be the power supply. It's kind of hard to see, but I'm fairly certain this is what it is. And you got a connector PCB right here for all your connections. And there's the SX-64 CPU board. And you have some other things in here that I'm not exactly sure what it does, but I'm sure some people will find this interesting. There's the cartridge connector, and underneath this shielding is the floppy drive, of course. There's the speaker, and there's your CRT and all the electronics for it. You have your focus, what does that say? Focus and screen adjustments. That looks like something my dad did right there because that cable goes to the floppy drive. And here's a look at it from a different angle. Alright, I got the Commodore back together, and now we're going to play some games. Unfortunately, I couldn't find most of my Commodore games, but I still have a few, and we're going to play those right now. The first game we're going to play is Jumpman, and I already got the disc in the drive, so I'm going to do a load, double quote star, double quote, comma 8, comma 1. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in onto the screen. Unfortunately, we're going to have a little bit of flicker on the screen because it's a CRT, but I'm going to go ahead and run the game. Alright, program load in progress. Please wait. Okay, it looks like it's done loading. Let me turn up the volume. Alright, I like this game a lot back in the day, and we're gonna play it. We're gonna do beginner. Alright, that was pretty easy. Okay, I'm not actually gonna beat this level, but I'll just show what happens when you die. Alright, well that was cool. Okay, now we're going to play a game called Super Zaxxon, and I already have the disc and the drive, but there's actually multiple games on this disc, so I have to do a directory list. So load, double quote, $, double quote, $8. And then I do list. Alright, so we have all the games. I'm going to load Super Zaxxon. Okay, it's loading. Alright, Super Zaxxon. We're going to play a little bit of this. Alright, we've seen it already. There we go. Yeah, I usually want to stay towards the ground. Oh, ran into that jet. Oh well. Ah, I suck at this game. There we go. What? Okay, and that's Super Zaxxon. Alright, the last game I'm going to play is called Destiny. It's kind of an adventure RPG game. So let's load it. And this game actually was kind of rare at one point because there were no working disk images online for it because of the rapid lock protection. But I think somebody cracked it, but I'm not sure. Destiny by Jeff Pierce. Alright. So I'm not going to actually play this game, I'm just going to run the demo. So loading demo. Alright, so here's the demo. As you can see, it gives you like a picture of what you're looking at. And you can move in north, south, east, west. You have an inventory, you have all these commands that you can choose. And the game's just going to play it by itself. But pretty much you just pick a command like look, and you can look around the screen and it will show a little description of whatever you see. And there's all kinds of commands, you know, like get, put, use, buy, open, kill, move, and so on. And here's the supply store, and you can buy a bunch of stuff. And I'm probably just gonna edit the video and skip to the part where there's battle. Alright, here's the battle scene. And basically each side takes turns at attacking, like every other RPG. And it said that the troll escaped. Okay, so that's the Commodore SX-64. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching.